Democrats' treatment of Nicki Minaj should be all the proof you need that they don't care about black people, especially those they can't control. They just use them every 4 years for their votes, but people are waking up.
I am not shocked that Nicki Minaj is sitting next to Erica Kirk and is speaking for Turning Point. This has been Nicki Minaj for years now, and I don't know why we're acting like she was never going to arrive at this point. A true turning point indeed. Nicki Minaj showing up to a Turning Point event with Erica Kirk, talking to Erica Kirk, speaking about Donald Trump, praising him, dissing trans folks, making comments about trans folks, making transphobic comments. Like it's not really funny. It's really sad, but when I saw it, I was like, oh, she's serious, which I already knew, but still, it's like, girl, you don't really care. And I honestly blame the Barbs. I blame the Barbs for this. The reasons why I blame her fan base is because they have enabled her behavior for years. And some of the things that she's been called out on, they have defended her against and said it wasn't that serious and it's a hate train. This is why people were criticizing her, because they saw some stupid shit that she was doing. And now, where are we at now? A true turning point indeed.
These sellout rappers are one of the reasons why a lot of black folks don't trust these rich black celebrities. Because they'll do anything to get in with these rich, wealthy, white crowds. Like Nicki Minaj, 50 Cent. It's over.
Maybe I'm just a wee bit crazy, but I could have sworn that there was this general consensus that when it comes to celebrities and their political opinions, everybody wasn't supposed to care because they live in these glass houses. They're the 1%. They got all this money. They got riches, and they don't really know how to market themselves as relatable to the average American citizen. Remember when we were all in lockdown and all those celebrities got on a Zoom call and sung us a song as we were losing loved ones, as we couldn't go to work, as we were losing jobs and losing money? A song was gonna make us all feel better. It did not, and fuck those people for that. So why do y'all care that desperately that Nicki Minaj is hanging out with Erica Kirk and talking a bunch of conservative talk and hanging out at TPUSA's America Fest? Why do you care? It's because she's this important figure for young girls. This woman is married and lays down with somebody who can't be around children. What are you talking about?
I just finished watching Nicki Minaj on Turning Point USA's America Fest and hear my thoughts about it. One of the first things that stuck out to me was this almost all lives mattery thing that Nicki Minaj said. Nicki Minaj was talking about, as a woman, if you are beautiful, you don't need to put down the looks of somebody else, right? But you want to know her examples were, and who the message was for? Black women. She was saying that black women, in order to make themselves feel more beautiful and make black girls feel beautiful, they put down the looks of white women, which I'm like, doesn't that really happen as often as you're making it seem like it is? She was trying to frame it as black women need to stop doing this to all women, right? We can all be beautiful. But she only kept saying white women, and then she also used an example of you don't want the blonde girl to feel ugly about herself. And after that, Erica Kirk goes, do you have a message for boys? And Nicki goes, don't be Gavin Newsom. Now, if you don't know, Nicki Minaj does not like Gavin Newsom, and Gavin Newsom is his new name that she gives him, right? Even though she's talking about how you shouldn't be bullying people, she's literally bullying someone else. Fascinating. Nicki Minaj is not a big fan of Gavin Newsom, and one of the reasons as to why she does not like him has to do with trans people, right? Remember, Erica said, what's your question to boys? Nicki goes, don't be Gavin Newsom. And then Nicki Minaj continues to say, it's okay to be a boy. It's okay to be a boy. Now, what do you get from that? Because that was telling me that, baby, that trans stuff, gots to go. You gotta be your born gender. You are a man. Be a man. I was like, okay, Nicki. Nicki Minaj, of course, talked about Nigeria, right? And what I picked up is that Nicki Minaj would do this thing of being like, yeah, I'm going to talk about something that's incredibly positive, but the underlying theme of it is incredibly negative, right? Yeah, Nicki will say something that a lot of people agree with, right? Like, nobody should be religiously persecuted, right? You should believe what you want to believe. Everybody agrees on that, right? She's using it for what? to defend what's happening in Nigeria. But the thing is, she's not even fully understanding what's happening in Nigeria, because if she actually knew and listened to a lot of Nigerian people, they would say it's a little bit different than that. Most importantly, I think this is a win for the right, and why I think it is a win for the right is because Nicki Minaj is incredibly charismatic. All those people who have big platforms in the conservative realm, they are good at like communicating bad things. They're incredibly charismatic. Aren't they not? They make you feel something, right? Except for Erica Kirk. I'm sorry. That girl, she did not give me charisma one bit. Candace Owens got her platform like herself. Why? Because she's entertaining to watch. All people on the right, I don't know what they be saying, but they are entertaining to watch, for which is why they get such big following. Which is why it's good for the conservative realm for them to have somebody like a Nicki Minaj, because even in that interview, even though I hated a lot of the things that she was saying, she was still very charismatic. The level of charisma that I saw with Nicki 5 years ago, 10 years ago, right? Which I'm like, that's why people fall in love with Nicki, because she's funny, because she's witty, because she cares, but she's becoming a worse person.
No, because this is actually really fucking weird. Nicki Minaj just showed up at Turning Point USA's America Fest for a cozy little Q&A with Erica Kirk, the new head of TPUSA. Yes, that Turning Point USA, the far-right youth org, the culture war factory. Nicki walks on stage saying she's honored to be here, then praises Donald Trump and JD Vance for being relatable. Relatable to who? Let's be clear. This is not some random appearance. This is the same Nicki Minaj who spoke at the United Nations with the Trump White House, has been posting Trump Truth Social screenshots, and is now openly aligning herself with the right-wing political infrastructure. And now she's doing events with the widow of Charlie Kirk, who literally just took over TPUSA after his assassination, and is openly promising to fight and expand the movement. A rapper with tens of millions of followers standing on stage with one of the most aggressive conservative organizing machines in the country, and nobody's supposed to notice? Nobody's supposed to ask why a global music icon is suddenly being plugged directly into American far-right power networks? This is influence. This is normalization. And yeah, it's weird as hell. And if that doesn't set off alarm bells for you, you're not paying attention.
You need to focus on 2028. I would say focus on the midterms, but who knows at this point? You got to focus on 2028 and backing whoever's going to stand the best chance of beating the orange man and the next step past the orange man, which is the weird looking dude in the mullet. You need to worry about that. Constantly worrying about these think pieces that you got to drum up in regards to celebrities and how they don't think like you is going to get you nowhere. Actually, I'm wrong. It's going to get you exactly where you are now with another Republican in the White House. And I'm certain you don't want that. I'm certain you don't want to live in a world where the orange man and his offspring continuously get in the White House every 4 years. And if you don't, hit the fucking drawing board and try to make yourselves to be the better option against these fucking Republicans, conservatives, and whatnot. Because if you spend all this time bitching that, oh, you people aren't just supporting us. Oh, you're defecting and I hate you because of that. And see, this is why you can't do this. And see, this is why you can't do that. You're going to make the conservatives look more relatable. You're going to make them look more pleasurable to listening and having an open ear. And who knows, maybe Nicki Minaj will come to regret that, or anyone else. The average American who's left the left and gone to the right will realize that the grass ain't green over there either.
Nicki Minaj, Cardi B.
Okay, Nicki Minaj is causing dads to leave the home.
Hold on a second. I don't think that's a good role model for 18-year-old black girls. I don't think that songs that are talking about like glorifying wet female genitalia is exactly, I don't know which one wrote that song. Which one was it?
I think it was Ben Shapiro.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. But but by the way, the role models of the 1940s and 50s for black America were completely different.
So it is a representation issue.
Hold on a second. No, not representation. It's who do you get your art from? It's what values are they putting forward? For example, more times than not, black politicians will lament the condition of America. It's systemically racist. It's terrible. What does that do to a 14-year-old black kid if you just find that you hear that everything is rigged against you? Instead, they should be saying, hey, there might be some barriers, but if you believe in yourself enough, you can achieve in this country. It creates a form of social conditioning of low expectations.
And they'll join my side in saying, fuck them all, we're all gonna die. And who knows, maybe they will, maybe they won't. But the more you spend demonizing people for thinking differently from you and not really educating and hope they go educate themselves, which leads them to start going to that side of the political aisle any fucking way, the more you're gonna be biting your own ass and realizing that, oh, maybe we shouldn't demonize people, and maybe we should open our mouths and talk and understand and listen and inform, because that's, while being boring, a more measurable and good outcome in terms of getting people to understand why your side is better than the other side. And that goes for you fucking conservatives too. Just saying, look at the left and all those blue-haired rainbows over there, they're not good at all. That's not really helpful either. That'll make somebody go over there and say, oh, it's pretty peaceful over here on this left side. And the more you do all this stupid ass fucking mudslinging in the hopes that bullying a motherfucker into submission will get them to join you, it'll just make them hate you more and more and more. But who knows? Maybe crying at that poster you have of Nicki Minaj is going to make her see the light. Who knows? Maybe bullying her is going to get everyone to see the light. Who knows? Maybe Cardi B throwing out some passive-aggressive tweet about Nicki Minaj will get her to cower in fear. Or it'll just lead to her not really giving a fuck because she's already rich, and maybe inspiring other people to join the conservative movement. And then what? Then what's the spin gonna be? That all these people are just uneducated and they're gonna fall for it and they're gonna go for the book and they're not really gonna pay attention to anything and it's gonna be their own fault and we're not gonna feel sorry for them? Okay, you can choose not to feel sorry for them and they'll still be a crumb of a bit satisfied because the outcome that they want is currently sitting in the White House. And while they're planning for the next rendition to sit in the White House, you're worried about bitching who's not agreeing with you. And that's not productive. It's destructive. Despite all your best efforts to bully a motherfucker into voting for Kamala, it didn't work. Surprise, surprise. So please, hit the drawing board, try some good tactics to get people to see the Democratic side as a good side, and maybe, who knows, in 2028, there will be an outcome that you like, and maybe it will be of benefit to you. Or you could dig your heels and continue to be ignorant and be surprised at what the fuck continues to go on the more you think bitching is going to help you in the long run. Subscribe to the channel. I shall see you all in the next one. Mwah! Goodbye.